and welcome to what the Brontes did at the Fringe. So are there any, I can hardly see you actually, are there any Bronte fans or Bronte knowledgeable people out there? Oh, excellent. So you will be well aware, and probably everybody else is as well, that as far as we know the Brontes never did attend any Fringe events, either in lovely Morecambe or in Edinburgh or anywhere else. So what's this show all about? I am Pauline Valance, singer, songwriter and clarinet player with a lifelong interest, nay obsession in the Brontes. I think it started with the 1973 BBC adaptation of Jane Eyre, with a brooding and rather handsome Michael Jaston as Mr. Rochester. What first attracted me to that show, I wonder? I then went on to write a 6th-year English thesis on Charlotte Bronte and Jean Rhys, A Study in Loneliness. Yes, I was that pretentious, and no, I didn't have much of a social life in those days. So my interest carried on, and then a few years ago I visited the parsonage at Haworth for the first time. Has anybody been? Yes, excellent, yes, yeah, absolutely, good. You'll be able to keep me right on everything in this show. Yes, so I visited Haworth. For those that don't know, that's where the Brontes lived and worked and died, apart from Anne. And I became even more fascinated by how they produced those books in that place. I saw the actual table where they wrote their books and round which they used to pace at night, sharing their writing and sharing their ideas. I saw the very couch where Emily died. And so then, being a songwriter, I started writing songs about them. The first one is called Becoming Genius. Yes, I'm still pretentious. And that was the song with which I opened the show. I then remembered a few years ago I read a wonderful quirky book called The Brontes Went to Woolworths. Do you know that one?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, it's a wonderful book about a really imaginative family, and they weave different people's lives into their own, and two of the lives they weave into their own are Charlotte and Emily. They even had Emily writing a sequel to her famous book called Swithering Depths. Now, there's a book I really would like to read. So then I thought to myself, what if the Brontes came to the Fringe? Either here, or Edinburgh, or anywhere else. What would they make of it? What shows would they go to? Hence, this show. So, I haven't reimagined them for the 21st century, or anything clever like that. They are pretty much, well, as they were, or as I would have imagined them to be. And you will note that I kind of channel them through Charlotte and with a Scottish accent. And the reason for that is quite simple. I'm not an actor. No, whatever you might think. No, I'm not. And I don't do accents. So Charlotte will be as if from the west of Scotland with a hint of Glasgow and a hint of Ayrshire. I actually think being Scottish would really have suited her. She was feisty, she didn't suffer fools gladly, and she punched above her weight. So, welcome to the Fringe, Charlotte, Emily and Anne. A quick and elaborate costume change coming up. I had it specially made, I actually hope you like the bonnet. Just can't see very well out of it, it's like having wings. But anyway, so here they are. Well, Morecambe is a very strange place. It's so busy, so many people wandering about, so self-important and wrapped up in themselves. Although they do stop to stare occasionally, I'm not quite sure why. I think it might be Emily's outfit. She does insist on wearing those huge puffed sleeves of hers. And Anne keeps muttering about the state of the women's clothing and saying there's not much there. I honestly feel the two of them are going to get us into trouble. They have never learned the art of adaptation as I have. So, now that we have settled into our lodgings, what shows are we going to see? As you can imagine, we have researched this thoroughly. But there seem to be a lot of shows about Jane Austen. That puzzles us greatly. I mean, she was of her time and observed the social niceties of her time. But where was the human passion? Where was the spirit? I hope that one day when we get our books published, people might write shows about us. Anyway, to the shows, what will we go and see? Anne opted to go and see a show called All My Stupid Jobs. Poor girl, she hates being a governess. I think she thought this would give her some ideas. Emily opted to see Haunted Graveyard Tour, City of the Dead. She has a slight taste of the macabre, does our Emily? I opted to see a show called Boys in the Buff. Now, I wasn't quite sure what in the buff meant, but about 5 minutes into the show, it did become quite clear. But I did stay to the end of the show for research purposes, you understand. So, I found that they even have book festivals here. I really feel that that's where we should be, not wandering the streets of Morecambe, feeling a wee bit out of place. Like a fish out of water, like a stone in the sand, like an owl in the daytime, or a whale come to land, like a Christmas tree in spring, or a bell that doesn't ring, or a bird that's trying to fly with just one wing, like a fish out of water. We wanted to blend in, to be just like the rest. We wanted to disappear, to have some kind of test, to see if we could be ordinary and be just like anybody and not be subject to ridicule and jest. Like a fish out of water, like a stone in the sand, like an owl in the daytime, like a whale come to land, like a Christmas tree in spring, or a bell that doesn't ring, or a bird that's trying to fly with just one wing, like a fish out of water. We really did try hard, we gave it all we've got. We studied behaviour, at least that was the plot. We tried so hard to be normal and not to be so damn formal and get the anonymity we sought. But where did we go wrong? Did we not sing the right song? We tried, oh yes we tried, for so long, and yet we're still different. We don't fit the mold. Like a fish out of water, like a stone in the sand, like an owl in the daytime, like a whale come to land, like a Christmas tree in spring, or a bell that doesn't ring, or a bird that's trying to fly with just one wing, like a fish out of water. Like a fish out of water. So, we thought we might partake of some Morecambe nightlife. Our landlady suggested we go clubbing. Oh, it's been spared. This is most strange. It's so dark. How can you see what anybody looks like in this club? I have to say, although I have seen some noble gentlemen on the streets of Morecambe, they are sadly missing in this club. Where is the noble demeanour? Where is the smart attire? Emily is wearing her largest sleeves and looks most odd. Anne is talking to people about the evils of drink. Somehow I don't think it's what they want to hear. I think they're going to get us into trouble. What's that you say? Am I dancing? Well, I am trying to move my body in time to the music. It's a bit different from the minuets and polkas that I know. What's that you said? Would I like a lumber? I'm sorry, I do not understand that. Oh, somebody's just drenched me in foul-smelling drink. What's that you said? You didn't see me? You think because I'm small and plain that you can ignore my existence? You can look right through me as if I were a very ghost? Oh well, it turned out it was me that caused us to be kicked out of the club. How embarrassing. Oh well, an interesting experience. I feel sure that next time we come here, people will know who we are. So, here I am back in Morecambe. It gives me no pleasure, I can assure you. Everything has changed from the last time. I have so many memories. Our brother Branwell, did I tell you about Branwell? Our dear brother, such a great talent. A talented writer, a talented artist. We thought that he would make his fortune and the family could have breathed a bit easier. But alas, Branwell, as I think you see up here, liked a bevy. All his great plans amounted to nothing. Let me tell you more about him. I'm Patrick Branwell Bronte, and I come from Haworth Town. When you see me on Friday night, you'll think that I'm a clown. But inside I'm a thinker, my talents know no ends. So I'll let you buy from me a pint, and I will be your friend. Our father was an Irishman, a poor man in his day. But very soon he came to know that learning was the way. He studied hard and in the end became a Cambridge don. And he hoped his were the shoulders for his children to stand on. The children came along, there were 5 sisters and a boy. And everyone gave father unadulterated joy. He hoped that they would study hard and widen out their scope. But on my slim young shoulders lay the weight of all their hope. At first it was to painting I devoted all my skill. But there were many artists and not many posts to fill. I tried my hand at writing, for I'd written all my life. But all that writing gave me was a heap of strain and strife. I thought that in teaching good fortune's sure to lie. I was placed with the Robinsons, some tutoring to try. Alas, my poet's heart led me to love not where I should. And now I'm home in shame, I'll not amount to any good. And now I walk in dark despair, my thoughts are bleak and drear. I shout and rage against the world, and folks step back in fear. I take whatever substance will help me through the days, and Father cares for me at night when I'm in a drunken haze. I'm Patrick Branwell Bronte, I'm well known in Haworth town. When you see me on Friday night, you'll think that I'm a clown. But I've grown weary of this world, I'm waiting for the end. But still, you buy from me a pint, and I will be your friend. So we did not even tell Branwell that myself and Emily and Anne had had our books published. We thought he would not be able to stand the thought of our success. So Branwell became ill. He thundered and raged against his fate, but he could not escape it. He died as he'd been in life, angry and disappointed. And our poor father had to arrange the funeral service for his only son. We were just recovering from that when we realised that Emily had become gravely ill. Poor Emily, so strong, so stubborn. She would not give in to this illness. She treated it like a battle of wills. She carried on her everyday routine, although she was painfully thin and racked from coughing. She would not even let us send for the doctor. Then one day she said, "I think you can fetch the doctor now." She died that evening, over on the couch. She never even made it to her bed. Her faithful dog, Keeper, who she had once beaten black and blue for disobeying her, howled outside her door for 2 days and then followed her coffin to the church. I could not bear to look at him. And our poor father once again had to preside over the funeral service for one of his children. I thought that we'd suffered enough, but no, before we knew it, we realised that Anne was failing. Dear sweet Anne, always so eager to please, but yet she had such inner strength. She was a completely different patient from Emily. She did everything that she was asked, took all her medicine. The doctor suggested we try some sea air, so off the two of us went to Scarborough. We did not make it out of our lodgings. She died within 2 days. I could not face the thought of Father having to bury another of his children, so we buried her there in Scarborough, looking out over the sea. She's there still, if you should ever choose to visit her. So, now it is just myself and Father. At night, I walk round the table on my own, with the spirit of Emily and Anne beside me. How can I bear it, I hear you ask? I do not know. I do not know. The rain's icy tears creep down my window, like cold fingers slipping and dripping, they desperately claw from outside. I stare out as the window missed out the storm, and I am safe from harm, cozy, sheltered on the inside. But when I turn to the table where the family's dinner should be, no one is there, so I'm left with my own silent plea. I eat alone in my room, same as always. with my own silent plea. I vow that one day I will have my own daughter. I'll shower her with love so she never will feel so alone. Together we'll stare at the rain's icy tears on our window, and we'll be cozy inside, having dinner together at home. And we'll be cozy inside, having dinner together at home. Inside. So, I throw myself into my writing. I've nearly finished my next book, but as it turns out, the public love my earlier book, Jane Eyre. Other authors want to meet me. I'm invited to dinner parties. People want to know my opinions on everything from women's rights to the latest fashions. Now, contrary to what you might think, I do actually have an opinion about that. When you look as I do, you have to do something to make yourself fit into the crowd. So I do have quite a lot of opinion about women's styles. I've even been featured in a spread in a magazine, what's its name? Greetings, Hail, Hello, that's the magazine, yes. So, and I'm invited to Morecambe this time to take part in a special book event. So exciting. And I'm invited onto the Janetta Forsythia show, which I guess might be a joke that you only get in Scotland, but never mind. So I'm invited onto the Janetta Forsythia show, which is apparently a really big deal. And hold on 1 second. Yes, so the interview, like many things over the last couple of years, was conducted by Zoom, with all the attendant technical issues. So, yes.
Charlotte Bronte.
Thank you, Miss Forsythia.
You can call me Janetta, if you like. And may I call you Charlotte?
Yes, I think that would be acceptable, Miss Janetta.
So, Charlotte, how are you enjoying the Fringe experience?
Well, it's a very confusing collection of art, music and drama. It's almost overwhelming. And there seems to be an unhealthy obsession with the works of Jane Austen.
Oh, so you're not a fan then?
Well, she had her place, but I feel she was overly concerned with social niceties. And does her ostentatious show really have to be on every year?
I gather you've been meeting other authors at the book festival. Some more to your taste?
Oh yes, I've met some lovely writers. There was that Mr. Christopher Brookmeyer, very amusing gentleman, although I have to say I don't understand many of the words in his books. And Mr. Ian Rankin, he has a very flawed and interesting character in Inspector Rebus, a character facing many demons. Very flawed.
Yeah. I gather you met J.K. Rowling as well.
Ah, Joanne, what a lovely woman. I felt very akin to her, although I have to say I was reluctant to read her Harry Potter books at first.
Why was that?
Well, they are set in a boarding school, and I feel I have had my fill of boarding schools. Although it turned out to be a most delightful school, although with an appropriate amount of horror. I only wish I had had a magic wand for some of the people I encountered in my school.
Moving on to your books, you must be delighted at the success of Jane Eyre. I gather they're planning adaptations for TV and film.
Yes, it is so gratifying to have people praise my work, and the filming process seems most exciting.
Have you been much involved in the filming process?
Well, it is not my area of expertise. Though I have asked to be involved in choosing some of the characters, I have been involved in meeting Mr. Michael Fassbender for one, a lovely man, and Toby Stevens. They are all much more handsome than I would have imagined Mr. Rochester, but nevertheless, I'm going to have to interview them all again, just to make sure.
Yeah, good idea. Well, you can't be too careful. So, I gather your next book has another fascinating and charismatic male character. Is he based on anyone you know?
I'm afraid I can't talk about that.
Oh, sorry, is it too painful?
No, my lawyers have advised me not to talk about that.
Okay, well, moving on. So, something people have been wondering about is, what is your take on feminism? And do you feel Jane Eyre has something to say on the issue?
Well, as to feminism, I don't feel I have much expertise on that subject, but I do know about Jane. Jane is a person and wants to be seen as a person. She does not want to be judged for what she does not have, her lack of beauty, her lack of wealth and social standing, but for what she does have, her spirit, her dedication, her education. She wants to be seen for what she is. For what she is.
Well, the interview went on. It was most enjoyable, actually. But I can't help feeling there's something missing. I really do wish Emily and Anne were here and were able to see what a success their books have become. I feel they were never appreciated in their lifetime. They didn't know how to understand you. They didn't try to get to know you. Did you feel so lost and alone, out of step and out of time? They didn't know you were the first ones. They didn't see you were the brave ones. How could they know you shone a light through the murk of their minds, like torchlight in the darkness, like footprints in the snow, like a path cut through the forest? Somebody has to show the rest of us which way to go. Nobody saw you fall and stumble. You didn't cry, you didn't crumble. You always knew you had the strength to carry on behalf of us all. Once the path is there, it's easy to follow. The way is marked through Ian Hollow. The ground is cleared, we only need to read the signs, only need to change our minds, like torchlight in the darkness, like footprints in the snow, like a path cut through the forest. Somebody has to show the rest of us which way to go, like torchlight in the darkness, like footprints in the snow, like a path cut through the forest. Somebody has to show the rest of us which way to go, like footprints in the snow, footprints in the snow. So, I never thought I would come back to Morecambe again, yet here I am, in quite different circumstances. Arthur says, oh, did I tell you about Arthur?
No.
No? Arthur Bell Nichols, my father's curate. It turns out he had held a sincere and abiding affection for me and asked me to be his wife. He was far from the brooding and romantic hero of my dreams, and I turned him down. But then I saw him turning pale and faint in my presence and showing depth of feeling I never knew he had. We started meeting in secret because my father did not approve. And to cut a long story short, and to quote a well-known author, me, reader, I married him. So here we are in Morecambe, on holiday this time. And I have to say, travelling with a husband is completely different. Our lodgings are much more comfortable than I am used to, and the landlady has taken to putting heart-shaped chocolates on my pillow. And we're here at the Fringe, going to different shows. We've even been to see Ostentatious. And I actually quite enjoyed it, but don't tell anybody. Dear Arthur says I'm the one that should have been honoured in a show. He always takes my side. I think I can only express my feelings in a song. The river running, falling down the hill, the misty landscape keeping very still, the mountain rising, reaching for the sky, the eagle soaring, soaring oh so high, the world's a gift. If it was mine, I'd give it all to you. The forest breathing deep inside its core, the ocean lapping, lapping on the shore, the storm that rages passing into calm. They speak to me, remind me who I am. The world's a gift. If it was mine, I'd give it all to you. If I had strength, I'd keep the wolves at bay. If I had songs, I'd sing to you all day. If I had fire, I'd keep you warm at night. And if I could, I'd keep you in my sight. I swear it's true. The world's a gift. If it was mine, I'd give it all to you. 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 Yes, so Morecambe is quite different this time round. I'm doing things I never thought I would do before. I was enjoying the kite festival, wasn't that wonderful? And is there a big wheel in Morecambe? If not, there should be. But anyway, for the purposes of the show, there's a big wheel in Morecambe. and I went on it. I have to say, I didn't enjoy it that much. It made me feel rather sick. Although, there could be another reason for that. I haven't even said to dear Arthur yet, but I think we might soon be celebrating extending our family. Who would have thought I would ever be a mother? and take such delight in the process. And they reached out to the world. They found power in their words. Wrote the things they could not speak out loud. Ideas that went soaring high. Ideas that went soaring high. I've been having the strangest dreams. I feel I've been walking in a dark, dark place. I've been getting images of my sisters, and not just Emily and Anne, but Maria and Elizabeth, who never made it out of childhood. I've even been getting images of my dear mother, who I barely remember. I can see Branwell, looking quite peaceful for once, brandishing a pint glass. Well, some things don't change. I can see Emily, wearing even larger sleeves than usual, and Anne looking most serene. They're beckoning to me. They want me to go with them. But I don't want to go. I found happiness in this life. The darkness is clearing, and I can see people gathered round me. I see my father and dear Arthur crying and praying. I'm not going to die, am I? I have been so happy. I have been so happy. One of them was like a robin proud, small and sprightly, but stands out from the crowd. From the outside she was humdrum. From the outside she was nothing. From the outside no one saw the fighting spirit there. And you can't keep a cage bird in. No bars can hold that soaring spirit within. Nothing can prevent her being what she's meant to be. Free, free, free. Round and round and round they paced. Thank you.
Love is wise, hatred is foolish. In this world, which is getting more and more closely interconnected, we have to learn to tolerate each other. We have to learn to put up with the fact that some people say things that we don't like. We can only live together in that way. If we are to live together and not die together, we must learn a kind of charity and a kind of tolerance, which is absolutely vital to the continuation of human life on this planet.